And so here we are once again on a Saturday evening. Once again, coming off an absolute unmitigated disaster for the Michigan football team. Folks, I'm never an advocate of any drastic changes midseason, but to me, there is no doubt that heads will need to roll if this continues. And we shouldn't have to wait for the end of the season for it to happen. But my question to you is, now is it really just the QB? Clearly, this team is not performing up to expectations. And it starts with the offense. And I was never convinced it was Devin Gardner's fault. Look, I like the man personally. Do I have some questions about how he plays as a quarterback? Absolutely. Do I think he can play better? Absolutely. But I was never going to sit here and sabotage him and call for his head when he's in a new system and he still doesn't have a proper offensive line. And he's the only senior on the offense. When all these changes have been made, and I was willing to give Shane Moore starts, prepare him for the future, I'm willing to do that. But when you get blown out by freaking Minnesota, a team that had all of 7 passing yards last week, a team that is pretty much 3-1 by accident, they are not a good team. They are below average. They are clearly rebuilding mode, and they blow you out? I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And yeah, I'm pissed off. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so hopefully after this game, I think we can all agree that Devin Gardner deserves to be the starting quarterback. Yeah, the dude has issues, but he's also an offensive machine, and he's got experience. You get him behind a solid O-line, he'll be fine. But I think we all know Brady Hoke is gone now. I think that was cemented when he put an injured Shane Moore back in when Gardner's helmet came off one play instead of going to Bellamy for one snap. On the whole, this team looked demoralized. I mean, seriously. You look at Minnesota, and this little football team, it's like all of a sudden Michigan forgot how to play football. No, they didn't. They quit. They straight up quit. And that I can blame both the coaches and the players. College game day, Desmond Howard said he watched his team practice. He said, outside of Jabril Peppers, who sat out today because of an injury during practice, apparently, there was just no one on this team that looked like they wanted to be great. I'm starting to agree here. Outside of perhaps Devin Gardner, who tries his hardest every day, tries to do it all, there's just no one on this team. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as say that the people wearing the Legends jerseys need to give them back, but it's safe to say that they are not properly representing players like, Desmond Howard, Charles Woodson, Ron Kramer, Tom Brady, champions. You may have forgotten what that's like, Michigan, but I'm talking about champions here in case you forgot. Now let's talk about Brady Hoke. Like I said, I love the man. I've always been a fan of Brady Hoke. Because the level of relevance and attention he gave to this program is something I totally applaud. God knows we needed it. And also don't forget, he was the guy who came to Michigan at a time when everyone else was afraid to. He was the guy who said, I'm going to accept the challenge and bring Michigan back to prominence. And to his credit, he still the guy when he took what was left of Rich Rodriguez's recruiting class and took him to 11-2 season and a BCS bowl win. But in the interests of facts, this team has not looked decent since Rich Rodriguez's players have left. They have not looked decent since Brady Hoke's players have arrived. And now more than ever, what I'm seeing are guys who look unhappy wearing the maize and blue. Or at least a coach who does not look happy being the head of this outfit. And they can say what they want. I don't care. I'm talking about results on the field. I'm talking about what I see when you have guys out there in uniform and you're running the ball or throwing these passes or having a defense that completely shuts down your opponents. I didn't see that today. There is something fundamentally wrong with this team. And if that's the case, then everyone's got to go. I don't give a damn who. I'm starting Gardner after this because he's got experience. Not to knock on Shane Morris. I mean, yeah, the kid's got talent, but the fact is he's still wet behind the ears. He still doesn't know enough to really make decisions. I'm starting Devin Gardner because I think we can all agree that while he does have issues, we've seen him at his best, and we know that he can ball. I believe in this team. Heck, I still believe in Brady Hoke. My problem with Brady Hoke is I don't see him developing talent. I don't see him getting the W. I don't see him being that coach he was brought here to be. Right now, I see him lame duck. I see a guy that people are waiting for him to be fired. They say he can't develop recruits. They say he's stubborn. He plays an outdated style of football. And every week, Brady Hoke comes in and, he talks about how these kids are working so hard, how they're giving 110%, how this team has the potential to turn the corner and be good. Well, here's my point to you, Brady. It doesn't look that way. This team is not a very good football team right now, sir. It does not look good at all. It looks slow. It looks soft. This team looks like it doesn't have a single ounce of aggression in them. And more importantly, sir, you look depressed. You look like you are completely unhappy being a coach. And honestly, I don't trust the Michigan Athletic Department. Because I think Dave Brandon should be going too. And I'll talk about that at the end here. But honestly, at this point, I think you need to make some moves sooner rather than later. Because the more Michigan underperforms this way, the more people are going to think they're all talk and no game. And the more people think that, then the less attractive they are going to be. The less attractive they're going to be to players who you might want to bring to Ann Arbor. Not to mention, it's going to make the Big Ten look less attractive to the College Football Playoff Committee. Look. Dave Brandon has turned Michigan football into a spectacle, pretty much. But it's not just about showmanship. It's about show business. Right now, Michigan is not handling their business. There is nothing about this team that even resembles business. Nothing about this team that resembles like they can win. And it's an atrocity. Seriously, you overcharge students for these ticket prices, then you privately give them away for nothing. You hype us up in the offseason with, a new offensive coordinator, these new 4- and 5-star count recruits coming in here, including the second best player in the country. You talk about how this team has improved, how it's going to turn the corner, and then you say that, we just struggled a bit, and we'll get it figured out right now. And then you go into Big Ten play, a very winnable division, by the way, and you come out here in your first game against a very beatable opponent, and you play like garbage? It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And something has to be done about this. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. At this point, I think we should all love Devin Gardner. But there's no shame in reminding him he's that word number 98 for nothing. I think I understand that Doug Nussmeier, new guy, young offensive line, they're getting used to the system. But as it stands, this offense is awful. Doug, you say you're in control, fix it. Greg Madison's defense has to do better. And God help us all if we can't get this team going in the right direction. If we can't get this team going right side. Because this is the most infuriating thing about this. This team is not this bad talent-wise. They're this bad heart-wise. They're this bad head-wise. When you don't have a head and you don't have a heart, your talent doesn't matter. And that's what happened. Because believe me, when these players are playing at the top of their game, this team can ball. But if they're playing in the right system, and they don't believe in their coaches, it ain't gonna matter. And by the way, a couple days ago, might have been today actually, one of the regents for Michigan voiced his support for Dave Brandon. Tried to say that the regents are behind Dave Brandon's leather department. Well, let me say this to you, regents. You would be absolute fools to keep Dave Brandon on for another year. Because if Dave Brandon still has a job after this year, you have basically said it is about the money. It's not about winning. Because there is nothing about this team that suggests that they can win. I had this sentiment at the start of this season. I'm saying it again right here, right now. The clock is officially ticking. Honeymoon is over. Just damn your feelings about it. Who gives a damn your feelings about the matter? You got a job to do. And the job ain't even to win a national championship. It's not even to win a Big Ten championship. It's to be respectable. You can't even do that?